In Jubilees, fasting on the Sabbath is strictly forbidden and punishable by death. This presents a problem as both Moses and the Messiah fasted for 40 consecutive days.
All right, so here's why. Remember when Yeshua says he's the Lord of the Sabbath and it's good, it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath. What was Moses asked to do? For one, by the way, when Moses was on the mountain for 40 days, two different time periods, he not only was fasting overlapping multiple Sabbaths, he is also breaking the actual command of the Sabbath, which was, you shall work 6 days and then you shall rest one day. People always forget the front part of that teaching, Exodus 20, verse 4. They always forget that part. You shall work 6 days and then you shall rest on that seventh day. It's a command. Paul repeats this. Is it not given for man to work 6 days? This is a command too. The idea of the resting is not the only part of the command of the Sabbath. So by this logic, and this we hear this claim all the time against Jubilees that, oh, wait a minute, Moses fasted for more than 40 days on Mount Sinai twice, and then Jesus was called in the wilderness and he fasted for 40 days, and there was Sabbaths that he passed over during that time period. How is he not, according to Jubilees, he can't fast on Sabbath? How is he not break? He also wasn't going to the Holy Convocation either. And the temple was standing. Same thing for Moses. They had well, no, they hadn't built the temple yet. But Jesus, with a standing temple in his day, he wasn't going to the Holy Convocation, as Leviticus 20, verse 1 through 3 talks about, to go to the actual standing temple ordained by the priests and everything there. He skipped those too. Why isn't that being brought up? That's another law from Leviticus. So all I'm saying is there's a hyper focus on trying to demonize Jubilees, not realizing that it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath. So if the Father says to a prophet, both Moses and Jesus are prophets. By the way, this also happened to Abraham and Ezra and even Elijah, but some people don't realize that. Moses and Yeshua are both prophets of God. Both of them are called to go into the presence of God, to fast, to draw closer to God. What does it say in Matthew 4? Yeshua was led by the Spirit away into the desert that he may fast. He's called to go do that before he started his ministry. Moses was called up the mountain in Exodus 24 to spend time with Yahweh, well, technically the angels, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. So, which is only found in Jubilees. It's not found in Exodus unless you understand the definition of the word God. But all of Judaism will claim, no, there weren't angels up there. It was just God the Father was up there. Jubilees is the one that claims that angels were on Mount Sinai giving systematically the law to Moses. The New Testament writers affirm that narrative, which is only spoken in Jubilees. Like I told you earlier, from the criteria for the early church fathers, which claim that, well, is this work inspired or spoken of by other people, the apostles or Jesus himself? Yes, Jubilees was. They literally teach from a concept only found in Jubilees, just like Jeremiah prophesying through Yahweh to the people from a concept only found in the book of Jubilees, not found in Deuteronomy through Leviticus. Genesis through Deuteronomy. So this is very important here, right? What we're about to see and hear, to understand that if you're being a prophet of God, being called to go into the presence of God, you're not, whatever other duties the Torah tells you to do during that time period you're gone, you get a pass because it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath. There's nothing better or more good to do than to obey the very specific and time sensitive, most immediate instruction from the Father to, hey, come to my presence for a little bit. And then I'll let you get back to your normal, regular life afterwards.